Hey, thanks for stopping by AC Cooper Writes. If you haven't already, please click to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos. The fiction writing, the writing world in general, is very generous. Writers like to help each other. So today I thought I would share a couple of really helpful videos that I found useful and learned a lot from about getting into a writing routine, specifically what two successful writers do. What struck me about both of these writers is they're in different fields, different genres, but they both do something that was interesting. I think I'm going to try with my own writing. So see if you can spot what it is.
So now I'm ready to get out to my writing cave, which is in my office just across the driveway. I've had a little breakfast, checked on the baseball scores and the news. Now it used to be that I would start with the writing or the editing and nothing else, but I found I was a little distracted because of those things I'd rather do, make sure they're out of the way. You do what works for you, but for me, I need all the distractions taken care of, and now I'm ready to get to work. So I'm on my way out. Where you write and the kind of stuff you use is important. My writing space is nice these days. When I started out, I had a plank that I stretched between two kitchen chairs and put those in front of the couch in the living room. Sat on the couch, that was my office. It wasn't comfortable, it probably wasn't healthy for my back, but that's how you work. You use what you can afford. I'd urge you to invest in a good chair. You're going to be sitting in it for several hours. All your work's going to be done there, and so you need to be comfortable, you need to be healthy. I've got everything I need within arm's reach here. I've got a fan if it gets hot, I've got a heater when it gets cold, I've got my lighting, I've got all my research stacked. I know where everything is. Usually I'm a neatnik, but while I'm writing, this is what it's going to look like because it has to serve the purpose of the message. What I'm working on is what's important. I've got my cover that the publisher has already done a rough of, so that keeps me on track. I know what I'm doing. So now that everything's in place, I'm ready to do first things first. I will go back about 25 pages and do a heavy edit and rewrite. I call it ferocious self-edit. It's an aggressive self-edit. That's where the magic happens. Everything I did yesterday, those 10 or 20 pages, were simply the rough draft, getting the story down. Now I'm going to polish it, make it come together. This process takes longer for me than it used to because I've written a lot of books and I want each book to be better than the last. So I'm really working hard to polish and make it just the way I want it. Because of the technology, you can make something different all day. It's getting to the point where you know you've made it the best it can be, and you're not simply making it different, you're making it better. Once you've hit that point, you stop and move on to today's writing. So I've got a couple hours work to do to make yesterday's stuff work. That, in essence, is my second draft. And when I finish the entire manuscript, I'll go back through from page 1 all the way to the end for what, in essence, is a third draft, the last polish and rewrite. So I need to get to work. I'll see you in a couple hours. Finish the heavy edit and rewrite of everything I wrote yesterday. And now it's time to face the blank page. And that's always intimidating, even at this stage of this novel. I'm a pantser. I write by the seat of my pants. I'm not an outliner. But in one sense I am, because to avoid facing that blank page, I don't want to sit here waiting for inspiration. So I've left myself just a couple of lines. I tell where my character is, what happens next, and where I think I'm going in the chapter. Not really an outline, but it gives me something to go on. And I'm ready to hit the ground running. Okay, I've finished my writing for today. I'm at a pace of about 2,500 words a day now. That's pretty fast. There are a lot of people, even more successful than I, who write a lot fewer words per day than that. Speed is not the point. Quality is the point. If you write 500 words a day and they're at the quality you want, that's your goal. Now, to make your deadline, you want to take, even if it's self-imposed, divide the number of days you've given yourself to write by the number of pages or the number of words, and make sure you hit your quantity that day. Now, you may not be a morning person like I am. The writing I do before noon is the best writing I'll do all day. If you're a night person, make sure you've got no distractions and you've got your energy. Work when it's best for you to work. And now, depending on how I feel at this time of the day, I'll either go upstairs and work out or go in the house and have some lunch. And I'll put off the editing and rewriting until tomorrow, because the more space I give between the time I finish writing and the time I do my editing, the better for the project.
Writers will tell you that they're divided into two camps. There are those who outline everything, every scene, every chapter, beginning to end before they write, and they don't deviate from that. I thought I was going to be that kind of a writer because I was that kind of a lawyer getting ready for trial. But I found it didn't work for me at all. So I start out and I know generally what the story is about. I have a pretty good idea who the bad guy is. And then I start the action. You know, I clap my hands, action, and things start to happen. Some of the best moments are when I'm surprised as I'm writing. I'm typing away, I'm looking at the screen, and all of a sudden I'm off going somewhere. I think, man, how did that happen? You know, and it's that to me is some of the highest, greatest moments of the writing process. When those magical moments happen, I like letting my mind wander. I can't sit down at the keyboard and command myself to be brilliant. And the discipline is to let your mind wander, because it'll stop in all different kinds of places. That's where a lot of stuff comes to me. Everything in a book, in a novel, it either has to serve plot or character or both. If it doesn't do one of those things, then it's just gratuitous fluff and it needs to be out of the book. One of the hardest parts of being a writer is being a good critical self-editor, because every word you write is brilliant. Every turn of the phrase is iconic. You have to do hand-to-hand combat with every word on the page so that you can justify why that word is there and why it is where it is. How does it serve what you're doing, and is there a better way to say it? Each day when I start out, I review what I did the day before. And I'm going to edit that and then add on to that. So the 1,000 words is the new stuff, preceded by the editing of the previous day's work. I can write at the kitchen table, I can write at Starbucks, I can write in my office in the basement. But a writer has to write. Life gets in the way more than I would like, and my biggest struggle right now is to keep enough of this stuff at bay so that I really can write every day, because that's when I'm at my best and that's when I'm happiest.
So, what did you think? I know that's something I'm definitely going to try. I never really thought about writing and writing and writing and then doing the editing the next day. I usually write a little bit and then go back up and edit and change and then write a little bit. So just pick away at it, like, you know, picking away at a something you found, archaeology, you know, in a dig. Just pick away until you find out where the story is. But in this case, they give it a whole day between the writing and the editing. So I think I might give it a try to see how it works. It'll be different, something I'm not used to. What do you guys do with your editing? Please share in the comments below. I'd love to hear it from you. So until next time, have an awesome day, and thanks again for watching.